Let us congratulate all of the bachelor degree graduates. Will all the graduates please stand? You may now move your tassel to the right, to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with the class of 2018.
If you will all remain standing, and those of you in the room that are able, please stand. We'll now be listening to UB's alma mater anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my pleasure to present Laurie Burnham, a graduate of our Department of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences, who would like to say a few words to welcome you as new UB alum. Laurie is an Associate Vice President for Resource Planning at the University of Buffalo. In her position, she provides strategic advice on university and unit finances, serves as the principal liaison to campus divisions for long-term budget planning and forecasting, and helps to guide financial best practices and reporting that allow schools and their support units to understand their respective resource status and the role they play in the larger university context. Laurie is a graduate of the University of Buffalo with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Exercise Science and a Master of Business Administration degree. She also has an MS degree from Canisius College. Laurie has over 24 years of higher education experience. Since arriving at UB in 1996, Ms. Barnum has held several positions, including the Division of Athletics as Assistant Athletics Director of Business Operations, Associate Athletics Director, Internal Operations, and Senior Woman Administrator. She has also served as the Senior Associate Vice Provost in the Office of Academic Planning and Budget, where she developed the new university resource management process, which integrated multiple areas such as philanthropy, research, enrollment, finance, personnel, capital, and public service initiatives. Busy job. She also helped to integrate diversity and legislative priorities for over 30 university units, and she is responsible for the university internal financial plan, including annual revenue and commitments of over $100 million. Please welcome Laurie Burnham.
Good afternoon, faculty, staff, university leaders, honored guests, friends, family, and most importantly, graduates. I am honored and humbled to stand before you today and welcome you to the University of Buffalo alumni. You now belong to a network of over 260,000 graduates living all over the country in 150 countries and 50 states. Congratulations, welcome aboard. We're happy to have you. When Dean Witowski-Wendy asked me to speak, she shared that she thought my unique career path may be of interest. I hope you do as well. Honestly, I was very surprised and humbled to be asked and thought to myself, what words of inspiration can I share with these graduates? But I said, okay, new opportunity, I'll do it. So as I prepared my remarks, my mind wandered back to my days as an undergraduate student, where I have many fond memories of professors, fellow students, and classes in Kimball Tower. This school laid the foundation for who I am and where I am today. I also remember 25 years ago sitting where you are and thinking to myself, okay, I'm ready to celebrate. I don't want to hear any more, right? So I'll try to keep this as brief as I can. So like I said, I remember sitting here when I was ready to graduate. I already had a job. I was going to be working at the Buffalo Athletics Club, serving as their cardiac rehab coordinator and a trainer. And I was going to start in the fall my Master's of Science degree in Sport Administration and a graduate assistant volleyball coach at Canisius College, with the hope of one day working in college athletics. And while I did end up in college athletics during my career, I never thought 25 years ago I'd be where I am today and where I serve as the Associate VP for Resource Planning. I'm in a job that honestly I can say I love. Not many people can say that today. I know that I make a difference in people's lives, and I work in a career that supports higher education and lifelong learning, which personally is very important. I came from a family of 10, and education was my ticket to a new life. So here are my words of wisdom to you as you embark on your career. Number one, be open and flexible to new opportunities. I'm going to share with you one experience that when I look back, it's hard to believe this was the one decision I made that put me on the path where I am today. So I was a graduate student and I was poor, and I was working at the BAC and I needed money. So I went to the business manager and I volunteered to work any hours she had. And so I was doing filing, posting a payment. I'd take the garbage out. I didn't care what it was. I needed money. So I was finished, and I said to her, do you have anything else for me to do? And she looked at me and she said, well, I have 6 months of bank reconciliations that need to be done. And she started laughing. So I looked at her, and I thought to myself, I don't even reconcile my own bank account. Remember, I have no money. But I'm thinking, you know what? The stars are aligned. That very week in my accounting class, guess what we covered? Bank reconciliations. So I went to my car, I got my backpack and my textbook and my notes, and I set about trying to finish 6 months of bank reconciliations that I'd never done before. 2 hours later, I finished them, I brought them to her, and she just looked at me. Not only were she surprised how quick I did them, but they were correct. And this is back in the day, to date myself a little bit, nothing was automated. We were doing these on green ledger paper, okay? So there was a lot of room for error. So a couple of months later, she asked me to join her as her assistant business manager, where I continued to learn and grow and to learn about accounting and bookkeeping and audit. And then a few months later after that, they asked me to apply and take on my own club as a business manager. I will say none of this was in my plan. In fact, at first when they asked me, I thought, I don't want to work in a health club. I want to go work at a college. Why would I do this? And then I remembered, I didn't really have a real job, so I better do it. So that leads me to my next thing to share with you. So my next job after that, and this experience is what set me forth in the next job, was I did make it to college athletics, but it was in the business area. And because of this foundation I built at the BAC, I was able to get that job. I was 26 years old, and I was in charge of managing a budget for a program here at the University of Buffalo as we moved Division I football, while also trying to maintain gender equity, and we had no money. This was not an easy job, but I took it on. I said, okay, and I wasn't making a lot of money. I recall many nights, I remember once being there at 2 in the morning trying to figure out how I was gonna make the budgets balance and get the accounts to reconcile so I could get the monthly budget reports out. And I was sitting there thinking, who cares that I'm here? Nobody knows I'm here. No one cares that I'm doing this. But I did. and I knew it mattered to get it right. But the thing was, people did notice. People will notice when you work hard and you put in that extra work. You want to be known as that person who's the go-to person. So be open, flexible to new opportunities, and be sought after as someone who gets it done. It does make a difference. Thank you. And that leads me to my last item. So as I worked through the division, I worked up as Dean Witowski, Wendy mentioned. I also had the privilege and challenge to serve as the interim athletics director as we transitioned between two ADs, athletic directors. And during this time, I had the responsibility of presenting our budget to the president, the provost, the vice presidents, and all the vice provosts. It would be an understatement to say I was a little nervous about doing this. But I did it, and it was well received. And 3 months later, I received a phone call to look at this current position I'm in now and to apply for it, which again, new opportunity, and I did it. Lastly, I would share with you, recognize no one gets to where you are today alone. I know this to be very true. Along the way, I'm very thankful and blessed for all those who took me under their wing to see me along my journey. Some of those folks are here with you today. Your parents, professors, your fellow students, stay connected with them. They are important on your journey. And if you don't have one already, get a mentor, get two. Someone to give you honest feedback, guidance, and strength on days you'll really need it. This has also been very critical to me. And lastly, stay connected to UB, your school, and the Alumni Association. You are now a part of the UB family, and we care and are here to help. This is also an opportunity that I have found to give back to the next generation of students, your experience, your knowledge, to help them along their journey as well. So in closing, always stay open to new opportunities, work hard, be known as the go-to person to get things done, and lastly, always stay connected. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you a little bit of my journey. On behalf of all the alumni, congratulations on this significant milestone, and we wish you all the very best in the rest of your journey. Go Bulls!
She's quite an inspiration, isn't she? Wonderful. So thanks, Laura, and now we are at the end of the ceremony. Yeah? Before we close, I'd like to thank all the staff and volunteers who assisted with today's commencement and extend special appreciation to our school's commencement committee who organized today's events. My personal thanks go to Chrissy Costanzo, Karen DeGarmo, Courtney Frisch, Michelle Corvia, Noreen McGuire, Jillian Reading, Terry Rose, Barb Sen, Pedro Sateo Perea, and Marianne Venetia, and a special thanks to April Whitehead, who coordinated this committee. Let's give them an applause. I'd like to also recognize the members of the Norwood Brass who provided the excellent music for the ceremony. Again, thanks to Lee Melvin, who started us off singing the national anthem. And to Nancy Parisi down in front, who was our photographer. You'll see all those great pictures on the web in a couple of weeks. So thank you, Nancy. She'll be out in the back and be able to take additional pictures. So it's my honor to welcome all the graduates, all their family and friends to a reception honoring these graduates immediately following this ceremony in the atrium in the back as you exit today. As I said, Nancy will be available to take additional pictures for those who wish. And from me, I'd like to say to the graduates again, stay connected with our school. We are looking forward to hearing all that you do with these degrees. So we began the ceremony with a welcome from one of today's graduates, and we'll bring the ceremony to a close with a farewell from another of today's graduates. Welcome Amanda Kirchner, who received her occupational therapy degree today. Once Amanda has finished her farewell, I ask that the audience remain seated until the entire academic processional has left the theater. Amanda?
Thank you. Thanks. All right, I again want to thank Provost Okowski, Vice Provost Granfield, Vice Provost Melvin, Vice President Kane, Dean O'Donnell, Dean Wachowski Wendy, members of the Platform Party, honored guests, Dr. Nielsen, and I also want to extend a thank you to all the family and friends who are here, faculty and staff, and congratulations, graduates. So first, I just want to say that when I'm speaking today, the things I'm going to say are things I often have to remind myself of too. And I also want to let you know that I'm a crier. It might not happen, but there's a pretty good chance it will, so feel free to join in. That would make me feel better. Okay, graduates, I want you to do this little exercise with me. Close your eyes and think about an exam, practical, presentation, or project where you stayed up all night preparing and went to school on an hour of sleep. What class was it? Who was with you? And what cup of coffee were you on? Think about the struggle and how real that felt. Now open your eyes and look around to all of the caps, tassels, your classmates, friends in other professions, all of the family and friends who I'm sure answered answered phone calls and text messages from a very distressed student at one point. But look where you are. This is what you're really going to remember. This moment is what our hard work has been all about. Take some time alone today to really think about and appreciate that. Appreciate that there's no person who at the end of their life wants fewer moments just like this. When I first found out I was going to be giving this speech, I asked others and myself, how am I supposed to inspire all these amazing people? And after about 3 nights of pondering and tossing back and forth, it hit me. It's not me who's inspirational, it's all of us. All of us have done incredible things and struggled along the way. All of the incredible things that kids want to do when they grow up. My job up here is to make sure that you all know just how inspirational you are so that you never forget it. We as humans have a tendency to be our worst critics and persevere on the times we didn't do well or failed at something. Think again about that exam, practical, or whatever it was. Don't go all the way there. I won't make you do that more than once today. But think about how you did it, and then you did it again and again and again, all the way until you got where you're sitting right now. That's years of accomplishment, easily accessible in your memory bank just by referencing this day. How much studying has everyone done over the last few years? You should be pretty good at it, right? Sorry. Maybe there are parts of our programs that we found less than interesting, but we're all here because we found way more parts that are cool and that we love. Imagine what other things we don't know we love simply because we don't know they exist at all. There's so much out there for us to keep learning about and to do. And we may have submitted our final projects, but our learning and researching is still a work in progress. We have to use those skills from what is now our past because really this day is just the beginning of our future. There are going to be a lot of opportunities, but none of them will be handed to us. We have to pick them up or create them ourselves, even if it's a struggle to. The more we keep learning, the more opportunities we'll have. And socially, we're living in very turbulent and important times. We can no longer think that someone else will take care of the injustices that we see. We have to make the change. We have to grab that opportunity. It's up to us now. We're limitless. We've earned the letters that will go next to our name, and those letters will allow us to create the opportunities, even more than we had a year ago. But with great privilege comes great responsibility. We already heard that once today. And we're now representing our school, our professions, and ourselves. When using all of this potential, we have to remember some fundamental things within ourselves. We must remain focused ethical, honest, and humble. We're not better or more entitled to things than anyone else is, so when we see situations where we know we can help because of those letters next to our name and the nature of our professions, we have to exercise humanity and dignity. So I was racking my brain trying to figure out how to finish this speech. As I was sitting in my advisor's office putting the final touches on our master's project, I found what I was looking for. I've been in that office more than a few times and I've never noticed this. It was sitting on his desk, in a frame, pointed directly at me. And I think we can all find the metaphor there. It's a Stevie Wonder quote, and I think it's a fantastic reminder of the part of the journey that we're all on. It says, "Life has meaning only in the struggle. Triumph or defeat is in the hands of the gods. So let us celebrate the struggle." Thank you and congratulations, graduates.
So thank you, Amanda. And now I welcome back Marshall Collins.
First of all, I just want to congratulate everyone. This has been a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best as you go on in your lives. Provost Zukowski, Vice Provost Melvin, Vice President Kane, Dean O'Connell, Dean Wachtowski-Wendy, members of the platform party, and honored guests. I declare the School of Public Health and Health Professions commencement exercises now concluded.